Welcome to the Jointery podcast, a podcast where we study the lives of study the lives of two dads trying to find the balance between the families, hobbies and work. This week on the Jointery, we discover
she's been in there a lot, man, and like she was making suggestions. She's like, maybe we should do this in here, and maybe we should do that in here, and I was like, I already know this is gonna go.
Let's search for the meaning of life as it had never been witnessed before. The Jointery podcast.
All right. Am I too loud now?
No, you sound fine.
You know, because Dave was in town, and I had to set my microphone to be group dispersal. You know,
I know.
Capture two people with one mic.
Yeah, no, that was so much fun, man. Having Dave on last week, it was a blast, dude. So much fun. Did you guys have fun? Like outside of the podcast, did you guys have a lot of fun while he was there?
Dude, it was borderline too much fun. I mean, honestly, like, you know, 'cause like there's like a handful of people that like I probably talk to almost on a daily basis, you included, right?
Yeah,
like, if I don't talk to you in a day, I'm kind of like, is Ben okay? Do I need to go check on Ben?
I know.
Like is he alive? I need to make sure you're alive. Like I got to make sure you are in a constant state of mental being and presenceness. I don't know if that's a word.
I don't know, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you looking out for me. But
yeah, man, it was so cool, and I feel like like this is like a preview of when I'm going to be out in California at the end of the month, because like I've been talking to Dave for like 2 years, man, and like when I saw him, I was like, holy shit, like it's finally happening. So we actually skipped down the sidewalk on the way to pick up my kids. It was pretty funny.
I was teasing you. I thought you guys might have been holding hands while doing that.
Well, we were holding our phones, so we couldn't really hold hands. You know, we're influencers. So,
oh man, that's so cool that you guys finally got to hang out and meet after that long. It's just that's so neat.
And like the fact that he stayed at my house was extra cool because like, you know, like you get a friend that comes in town and it's like, okay, well then you're going to go back to the hotel. And then it's like, when are we going to meet up? And blah, blah, blah. No, bro. Like when I saw him in the morning, like, it's go time. Let's do this.
Did you guys stay up late, like, you know, braiding each other's hair and stuff, like talking about boys and stuff like that? Or what did you guys do?
No. We like one night we stayed up and like, I thought we would just sit on the couch and veg out to TV, but we ended up talking about some shit. He's a real fucking interesting guy. Way more interesting than he portrays on Instagram. So, and way more interesting than the last 2 years of superficial conversations I've apparently been having with him. So, so that was cool. And like, so like we hung out, and I think I took him to a good variety of Chicago food places. You know,
okay, yeah.
So, you know, so like, and it was great. So like, you know, like he came in town on Wednesday. Thursday, he went on like his own adventure there was like this industrial thing. He was real surprised to be on the podcast, by the way. But I was like in the car on the ride home. I'm like, hey, you want to be on the podcast today? You know, he was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that Thursday he went and did his thing, and then he came back and I had smoked some beef ribs for him.
Oh.
Which he enjoyed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at Costco and I was like, pork ribs and I saw beef ribs and I texted him. I'm like, these beef ribs look good, man. What do you think? He was like, let's go. Cause like beef back ribs are really hard to come by in general.
Yeah.
You don't ever see them on menus, like, you know, unless some dude's cooking them, man. That's a rare thing. So yeah, so that was pretty sweet. And then, Friday we went and had Alma came over to my house with Annette. She picked up Annette from the airport.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she picked her up and then we hung out like on my porch for like a couple hours, and then we went and got Italian beef sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
Though Annette and Alma did not get Italian beef sandwiches. They got hot dogs.
Well, when in Chicago, I mean, you got to eat a hot dog too.
I mean, the place I took them to only had hot dogs and beef sandwiches. So it was, so it was like, it was funny too, you know, because Alma and I joke around how bougie we are. And we roll up to the place and Alma's with Annette and Dave's with me, and Annette apparently went to Alma and was like, "Hey, is this the place?" She goes, "It looks pretty nice." And Alma goes, "This is definitely not the place Luke's taking us to." Like, and then like they turn the corner, there's the shithole building that I get my beef sandwiches from. She goes, "That looks more like the place he's taking us to."
Oh, that's awesome. I love. I was following along with your guys' stories. I was telling you yesterday, the day before, I was stalking your stories, Dave's stories, Annette's stories. You know, all of you guys that were hanging out this weekend. I was stalking them just to try and feel like I was part of the crowd. And the funniest part was when you guys first met up. And Alma and Annette were driving by your guys' house, and they were just flipping you off, driving by multiple times too. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, dude. Like I was sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, there's Alma," and she just drives by, and she's like, "Fuck you guys." And I was laughing. I was like, "Holy shit!" And then she like turned around and drove by again, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a thing." So they started however many times I videoed it, there was like 3 more times she did it.
Oh god, I love the commitment to the bit, dude.
Yeah, it was like apparently like Annette was on some call or something, and almost like, "Well, I don't want to like make this weird." So yeah, so it was cool. And then like the extra special bonus of it was got to meet Mary Lou.
Yeah, that was awesome. I thought that was really neat.
Like I haven't had a lot of personal conversations with her, but I know that Tiffany from Night Carver speaks extremely high of her.
Yeah.
She loves her. So I was like, well, if Tiffany likes her, I'm going to like her. So it turns out that was complete fact. I like Mary Lou a lot. Yeah. So then we hung out all together, and then we ended up at Alma's and doing like a fire and stuff like that. And we got, I forgot what we ate for dinner. I forget where we ate for dinner.
Tacos?
I don't know. No, tacos was the next day.
Oh, tacos was the next day. Okay,
yeah. And I did take, after the podcast, I did take Dave for pizza, which he enjoyed.
Did you go thick? Did you go deep dish, or did you go Chicago thin crust, or
Chicago tavern style? So that's where it's a thin crust, but it's not like paper thin.
Okay.
But the bottom's crispy, and they cut it into squares. And the place I go to is the only one I know of that cuts it in this weird ass way. Like they cut their squares, but they cut it in a way where they're like the corner pieces are still like it's like they forget an extra row or some shit like that. So like the corner pieces are like extra big.
Oh, that's crazy. Doesn't Detroit style pizza come in squares too? Isn't that a thing? Like Detroit, okay.
Yeah, because that's like a big rectangle. So
yeah. Got you.
But yeah, so we did that, and then we went out to breakfast on Saturday, and that was for the before the meetup, and I had a really good breakfast, and then we went to afterwards. We went to the meetup. Yeah. Oh, and like Grant from Dadcraft. Yeah, it was like the meetup thing. Whatever. Yeah. That was really cool too, man. Like I met Grant from Dadcrafted, who I've been dying to meet, and we both agree that Instagram. Every time I think Instagram hates me, like if I feel real bad, I could just remind myself that Instagram hates him more, because his shit is super cool, and Instagram never gives him any love, no matter what he does. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, those things that he creates, those like I don't know, what do you call them? Are they just
corner boxes? They're boxes. Comic book corner boxes. And he's like in the midst of doing he's going to like G.I. Joe Fest here, which I didn't even know was a thing. No, it's in Iowa. Sorry, it's in Iowa. And it's something his brother went when it was like at some dude's house when it began, and now it's like grown to the size it's at the convention center.
Wow.
So he's making a series of G.I. Joe ones next, which will be super cool.
I can imagine at the beginning of the G.I. Joe Fest, this guy's like, dude, I'm going to have it at my house, in my basement. You guys all got to come down. We'll trade.
Yeah. Dude, I was like, how many times do people say no one is half the battle? Like, is that like your ultimate comeback to anything? It's like, well, I wasn't sure about sure about your decision, and be like, well, knowing's half the battle.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the code to get into the place. You got to
Yeah.
the first one you had to knock on the door and you had to say knowing is half the battle to get let into the basement.
I mean, it's like a subgenre of a subgenre of a subgenre. You know, it's like you can boil down Comic-Con into like one specific thing. It's like G.I. Joe Fest. I'm like, I don't know. I loved it. So
it's like Duke, Lady J, and Snake Eyes hanging out in the basement together. I mean, I assume cosplay.
How many G.I. Joes do you think you can name?
Okay, let's go. Snake Eyes,
right?
Duke, right. Lady J,
right?
Cobra. Okay. He's the bad guy. Fuck, man, Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh man, you're getting real thin. He was a wrestler.
wait, he was also on G.I. Joe too, wasn't he?
I mean, he was, but then like he was a wrestler first.
Yeah. God, dude, I'm running thin. I can't
Destro.
Destro?
Yeah.
Who was that? Was that one of the bad guys?
Destro was like his right hand man, dude.
Oh, was it? Okay, I don't remember that.
And then Storm Shadow.
Storm Shadow. Yeah.
Right.
God, there was the guy who.
You remember the evil twins that like were really good at business and they also kicked ass?
They wore suits, right?
Yeah, their names are Tomax and Zamote.
Wow, you are way deep into this more than I am.
I only know that for one reason. I back when I did this thing called Mambicue, everybody got like a nickname, right? And I went with my brother, and they were like, "Oh, you guys are like the evil twins from G.I. Joe." And then some dude Googled it, and now it's stuck in my fucking head. This is why I can't remember my social security number because I can remember Tomax and Zamote. I was hilarious. Zamote, by the way.
You know. Of course you were. Of course you were.
No, I was Tomax. My brother was Zamote. So.
Oh, that's so funny, man.
Wait, so there was more, dude. There was
Comic-Con, G.I. Joe Con, Grant. You were talking about Grant.
No, that was just trying to think of more G.I. Joes.
I can't think of any more names. I'm blanking.
Man.
I'm blanking.
This is not worth Googling either. That's the funny part. It's interesting, but it's just like let's move on from G.I. Joes. So the meetup, you know, like I had been to Make 48, which is pretty cool, but this was like different. Like Patsy showed up, which was awesome to see her.
Yes,
you know, which
your guys' reel together was pretty funny.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing, we had to film it again because the first time we filmed it, when I ran up to her, like I jumped on her shoulders like that, and like she moved the phone, and like she recorded the rest of it, and I wasn't in any of it. Like it was all just on her. I was like, Patsy, you know I'm not in this, right? She was like, oh shit. Okay, let's go again. Yeah, but that was fun. The guy who shop it was past tense. It's like _ past tense. His name's Oscar. Super cool dude. I don't know how Alma knows him, but she knows everybody. Bart Komar showed up, which is cool. Mike from Modustrious Maker showed up. Which is cool hearing Bart and Mike talk about YouTube, you know, like as like real influencers.
Yeah.
You know, like where they're like hiring people to do editing and shit like that. I'm like, okay, you guys are there. You know, who else was there? I mean, there's just so many dudes, man. Like it's just there's so many people, like people I haven't met before, which are really interesting. There was one guy who was kind of nerded out when he saw me. He's like, oh shit, hey, you're here. I'm like, yeah. Cool, man. Which is like the second time that's happened to me. And I always think it's funny. I'm like, I don't know why anyone would think that highly of me, but that's fine. Yeah, so it was cool and it lasted a while. And like Festool was there and Festool did some demos. I got to see how to set up a domino, you know, which was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. That's sweet.
This VacPad company was there, which is kind of like a mini like vacuum clamp kind of a thing system.
Yeah.
That dude was pretty cool. Yeah, so it was nice. And then after that, we went out to eat at some barbecue joint.
How long were you guys there at the Maker meetup? How long was it?
It was like 11 to 3, and like homeboy was kicking us out at 4. So yeah, and like I hadn't eaten since breakfast, other than like there's like snacks there and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I went to not like ours where Hannah will be Surf Prep will be catering it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we went and got to this barbecue joint afterwards, which, dude, you will laugh. We were at the barbecue joint. I ordered a grilled chicken sandwich.
What? Why?
Because I was like, I've in the last 48 hours, I was like, I ate beef sandwiches, pizza,
Yeah.
like a breakfast, a chorizo scrambler for breakfast, like beef ribs. I'm like, I should toss in a chicken sandwich in there just to like, kind of like give my body a shot at making it through the weekend, you know.
You went chicken sandwich, not salad. You still went with more meat. You didn't.
Yeah, and French fries. I mean, there was fries too. But the funny thing is, like, Dave got like burnt ends, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, he ate the burnt ends, and he was like, "Man, I wish I'd have got that chicken sandwich." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Man, it's just been so much red meat in the last like." I'm like, I know, bro. Like, I had to mix it up, man. I had to do that. Yeah. So then we chilled back at Almost and burnt some all of her scrap wood, and then
oh, nice.
yeah, it was chilling with around the fire with Grant and Mary Lou and Annette and Alma and Dave. It was a lot of fun, and then the next day, Dave and I got hot dogs, and I took him to the airport. So.
When did he? Because I know you guys. You announced a couple days ago on your Instagram that you guys kind of all got COVID. At least you and your wife and Dave. When did that pop up? Did that happen on Sunday or?
And I still have COVID. You know, like I don't know, and it's the weirdest thing, man, because I'm fully vaxxed up, so it really hasn't been that bad at all.
Yeah.
But like, I was a little bit sick, like on Monday, but by the time Dave got there, I felt 100%. So, and I probably should have tested myself, but like because it like I had like a 24-hour bug that Bubs gave me like a month ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt like the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I felt fine, so I really didn't think too much of it. And then Jackie got sick, but she kind of quarantined herself the whole time. She wasn't really hanging around Dave, you know?
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, he was really not feeling great. So like he felt fine at the meetup and everything. He scanned like every single person there, by the way.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got scanned. I did the hero pose. But yeah, so like he was sitting there on Sunday and he was like, I should probably test myself. And then he tested himself. He's like, I'm positive. I was like, oh fuck. So then Jackie and I tested ourselves and we both came back positive. And then I called I messaged and called everyone I could think of at the event, being like, hey, I hugged you. You might want to get tested. But there's been no reports back that anyone else has gotten anything, which is nice.
Oh, good. Yeah,
at least not that I've heard of yet. But yeah, and I might have gotten it from a wedding that was like the weekend before. So like, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of because one of the people, the groom had messaged me, was like, hey, somebody at the wedding had COVID, but they weren't at your table. And I was like, all right. So,
okay.
So yeah, so like I tested positive yesterday and I'm waiting until tomorrow, test again. Hopefully I'll come back negative. Cause it's just the most annoying part of it is that I feel 100%, but I can't go anywhere,
Yeah. Yeah. No, like, totally.
I don't want to, hey, my kids tested negative, right?
Yeah, that's the crazy part, that you guys all had it. You're all in the same house, and your kids are negative, and you guys are positive. That's strange. Have you heard from Dave in the last day or so?
He feels fine.
Oh, okay, good.
It was the same thing for him. It was like a 24-hour thing. Man, I want to move my microphone, but I don't want to cut off the podcast. I was like about to move it. Yeah, so he feels fine now. It wasn't, no life-threatening situations. But I definitely think that because I had the vaccine and I had the booster, that that's what they say. It doesn't prevent like transmission of it, but what it does is it makes it so that way you don't die in the hospital, right?
Yeah, that's basically what it's for. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it did. I mean, like, honestly, I've had 24-hour flus that were way worse than this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't believe how quickly I felt better. Like, that was a surprising bit of it all. Like I just felt fine, and I was like, okay, but I think like what I'm gonna do before I go to Maker Camp is I'm already scheduled myself for the next booster, so that'll be the fourth booster.
Yeah.
And I think before I go to Maker Camp, I will test myself just to make sure before I get in that car with Alma that like I'm good to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you guys got some time too. I mean, it's only the 21st of September, so I mean, that's not so. You got like what 2.5 weeks?
I test negative tomorrow. That's because like that's really what. Because I want to get over this shit.
Of course.
I got shit to do, man.
Yeah, you don't want to be wearing a mask. Seeing you in a mask the other day, was it yesterday or doing on your stories was weird seeing the mask again. I was just like, not it's been so long since I've seen you wear one.
Like the other thing that was pretty like wild, man, is that so I sold my smoker, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I sold my smoker, and like the guy shows up at the house, we're outside, I'm wearing a mask, and I tell him before he even gets close to me, I'm like, I have COVID. Like I will stay like 6 feet away from you and just kind of tell you what's up. And like the guy didn't give two shits. He was like, I don't care you got COVID. He's like, let's just go. I was like,
yeah. Honestly, a lot of people these days are like, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, he's like, you're wearing a mask. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
He didn't even put a mask on. I was like, I got masks if you need them.
I was talking to Dave. I went out to lunch with Dave yesterday.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about this.
Yeah. But we
should not have made people wait 20 minutes into the podcast to talk about this.
What
happened at lunch with Dave? Ben?
Yeah. Well, we went. This is the beep 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 beep. The ramen report. Beep 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 beep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we went out and we found a ramen spot that was right down the street from my house, dude. I'm stoked. Like I know now where I can get some really good ramen. So we went yesterday, and he picked me up, and we went and had ramen. It was awesome.
Let's talk about fucking ramen, man.
No,
tell me everything. Okay, so you get to the ramen joint. What was the name of the place?
I can tell you right now. Dave sent me a picture. I didn't write it down. He sent me a picture of it though. He sent me a group photo. It was called Hikari. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Hikr or Hikari. Hikari.
Probably like Hikari.
Sushi and ramen, something like that. But it was a nice spot. It was a sit down restaurant type thing. And they had two options. They had spicy and non-spicy, and then they had like all the different things you could put in it and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave and I went with the spicy. I just went with the noodles and pork version. I basically I was like, look, first time having ramen at a restaurant. Can you just bring it to me like you would bring it to a child? You know what I mean?
You didn't say that, did they?
I did say it.
So they give you like the chopsticks with the little rubber band in it with the little piece of newspaper,
the little hand, the little kitty chopsticks.
The kid chopsticks.
So they brought it out. We got I got he got his with the kale and the seaweed and all the stuff in his. I got mine just kind of normal or plain ish. But we both got the spicy, and then we ordered the pork, what's it called? The pork,
like char-siu pork or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's delicious.
And it came on the side, and then we put it in our actually mine came on the side. His didn't. His came in.
Did you just have an egg in it?
No, it didn't have an egg in it.
All right, dude. I think you need to find like a ramen place too. Like mix it up and try another place.
Well, I mean, this place I could have gotten an egg. It had a lot of different options and stuff.
All right.
It had a bunch of different options. I could have. I just, like I said, for my first time, I went kind of, I eased myself in. But dude, the spicy ramen was so goddamn good, man. It was just so tasty. I told Dave, I was like joking with Dave. I was like, I think I'm gonna go to my favorite taco spot, that Tacos y Mas, get a couple of those birria tacos, those new fancy. I know they're not new; they're new to me though. And I want to take those and sneak them into the ramen place because they would be perfect in that ramen and that spicy ramen. Just take it and dump the taco meat and the cheese right into it. Oh my god, that would just be amazing.
Dude, you might invent a new cuisine. It's like ramen and Mexican combined.
Oh, dude. So good. But yeah, man, we had a blast, dude. Like,
the noodles are really good, right?
Oh, the noodles were great. The broth was great. Like I ate just like after I got all my noodles and everything done, I was just because they give you that cool spoon to eat with. And we killed it, man. We both ate the whole thing, and it was really good, really, really good. So
I think I'm gonna do next time I go. I'm gonna do it how Dave does it, where it's like, I think he just eats the noodles first, right? And then if he wants more noodles, he'll just order more noodles.
Yeah, we didn't go that route because I was on a time crunch. We only had an hour.
Okay.
Because I had to go get my kids. It was early release on Tuesdays. So
if you were late, they would understand.
and we went to two different spots first. We went to this one spot I found. They ended up, for some reason, the Yelp said they had ramen, but they didn't. So we had to go to the spot next door. And then but it turned out that spot was in like a grocery mart or something like that. Yeah. And Dave's like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not eating ramen at a grocery mart. So then we found the other spot across the street. So there was actually like 2 ramen spots right around the corner from me. But this one was really good. I was really happy with it. I'm definitely going to go back, man. Like 100%. That spicy, like just the spicy broth, man, was just fucking so good. So
I've been telling you, bro, it's a magical experience. Have you had anything like that before?
No, I don't think so.
You inspired my parents too, right? Or my dad, right? Because my dad was like, well, I haven't had ramen before. And my mom was like, okay. She's like, we should go get ramen. So my parents went and got ramen too.
Yes, nice, man.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him about it yet, but because my mom just told me. So
yeah, I'd like to get the full report. No, I think I will definitely expand next time and try. I'd like to try one of those the eggs because you keep telling me about these soft boiled eggs. The eggs,
they're just like perfectly cooked, bro. Like the one by my house, it blows my mind that they soft cook it so perfectly that I could pick it up from the restaurant and bring it home and it's still perfect. Like, I don't get that. That math doesn't add up for me. Like, how the fuck do you do that, man? Like, maybe you guys could look into French fries and make your French fries better on delivery. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, because you guys figured this egg shit out perfectly.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that was good, man. Ramen is a new favorite of mine, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited we got to do it, and Dave's just a fucking good dude, man. Like he's just such a solid guy, man. It's so much fun. Like I'm glad I got
David Letterman's beard coach. You'd have to be.
Yeah. And he brought me this cool hat. See this hat I'm wearing? It says Neil Electric. That's his company. Cool. So I'm repping a new hat. I'm pretty stoked about that.
So you're always blurry and low def for me when we do this. So your hat to me looks like a gold smudge on a camo hat. Like your Batman shirt is like perfect, but like the hat is a blur.
That's funny.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
So that's good. So I think the only other person that I know right now that is openly admitted to me that they have not tried ramen is Lee from Regal Street. I think he's also maybe not that adventurous because like he sent me, he goes, I think I want to try ramen, and I was like, you need to try ramen. He was like, so he sent me the menu of a restaurant near him. I'm like, order this, order that, and order this, and he was like, okay, which is which is like apparently when it comes to food, like people just don't question my advice anymore. I don't know I don't get it because this is like the second time this week that I'm thinking about this where this other guy he called me up and he was like, "Hey, I want to buy a smoker, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is the one I'm looking at right now." And he just went out and bought it, and I was like, so I called him up. I'm like, "Hey, how you liking it, man? Like, I'm thinking about getting these mods to it." And he was like, "Mods? What mods?" I'm like, "Did you not even research this?" Like the fourth video I watched, the dude was talking about how they modded it out. And this is like whole guy who has a whole side business on modding the smoker. And he was like, "No, I just asked you. That was all of my research. And then when you told me what to buy, I bought it." I was like, bro, that's an $800 smoker with a $100 cover. What are you talking about? You didn't even like watch a YouTube video? He's like, "No." Like,
your suggestions are gold, man. People are, you're at that gold standard right now.
Dude, honestly, if everyone would just do what I say and what I want them to do, the world would be an amazing place. Like, seriously.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Luke, the fixer.
Yeah, dude, I can make I can make everybody's lives better. Just listen to me. Stop being such a fucking jackass, okay? Like,
yeah, we should start a segment called "Listen to Luke."
Yeah, what would Luke do? My advice this week: stop taking shit so seriously and fucking go have some fun.
Yeah, that's so funny. Go ahead.
As you say, I have a question for you this week. Right?
Yeah.
Do you dream? Do you dream a lot?
I do have dreams, but I don't remember. I don't tend to remember a lot of them, and I think it's probably the weed. To be honest with you, but I don't know.
I saw like weed alone. I've had some great dreams. The reason I ask is I want to talk about a dream I had. Right?
Oh, let's hear it.
And then the subsequent conversation I had with Bubs about dreams, which was fucking hilarious. So before I had this, because I got sleep apnea, right? Before I wore the CPAP, I used to dream all the time, and apparently dreaming is really a sign that you're not sleeping that well, right?
Really, I thought it was the opposite. I thought like you get deep sleep, and that's when you start dreaming. But I don't know,
bro. Because like as soon as I started using that CPAP machine, I started sleeping a lot better, and I stopped dreaming almost completely. Like it's a rare thing if I have a dream, and if I do, so this other day I had a dream, and I could not believe how much of this dream I remembered, and I was so pissed that the dream ended. So I used to have all these dreams where I was like an action adventure star, right? Like I was saving the world. Okay,
it's not surprising.
Kicking ass, like I was basically a superhero in my dream, but without the powers. My power was awesomeness, right?
Yeah.
So I had this dream that I was walking past my garage, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot something," which proves even in my dreams I'm a fucking scatterbrained idiot, right? So I turn around to go back, and I see my garage door's open, and I was like, "The fuck?" And there's these two dudes, and like one of them's on his like knees, and he's like trying to get something for like I couldn't really see him because he was kind of behind my workbench, and the other guy is like kind of leaning over his shoulder, like, "Come on, we gotta go." And I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck are you guys doing?" And they popped up, and like I was like, "Oh hell no!" And they turned to run, and I ran after them. I tackled them both, right? So when the dream picks up, and the dream was then I was in a room with them, and I had like I was kind of like a cop, right? I know I wasn't a cop, but I was interrogating these guys like I was a cop. It definitely.
What do these guys look like? I mean, I'm picturing like skull. Are they wearing like the typical robber outfit with the skull cap and the black turtleneck? And
so I don't remember what they look like, but I remember during the dream I knew who they were. Right? Like when I woke up, like because I remember I was thinking to myself like this guy is too stupid to do what he's doing. Right? And I was like, it's because I knew who he was, and I already formulated an opinion. He's a moron. So he was
probably like old friends from high school or something like that in your brain. Anyway,
sure, let's go with that. But I was like a cop, right? Okay, but I wasn't a cop. But I had a partner because I remember he kept trying to pull me off of these guys from beating them up because I was so pissed off that they were in my shop. And I'm like, why were you in my shop? tell me where your shop. And the guy's like, I can't tell you or I'm going to die. I'm like, I'm going to beat you to death if you don't fucking tell me right now. And the guy goes, we're in your shop. We were sent to your shop to steal your vibe.
Oh.
I'm like, and then I lost my mind. I was like, my vibe? You're coming to steal my, oh, hell no. And I just started punching the guy in the face. And like, the partner pulls me off and I'm like, the hell's wrong with you? And I turn around and they were gone. And I was like, what? And I go running out of the room and I'm chasing them. And now I'm in a hospital, right? And like, like I'm chasing them through this hospital.
Yeah.
And like all the patients are like, they went that way. And I'm chasing them down, chasing them. And I go outside. And all of a sudden, I see this big gangster-looking motherfucker, and he's got guns, and like he's got like 5 or 6 big dudes with him, and like I immediately dove down. I'm like, oh my god, they're here to kill me. I was like, and then I was like, it's time to pull a Die Hard, right? And then I woke up, and I was like, no!
Oh,
Before it gets to my favorite part, where I sneak around and kill everybody. I'm like, I'm gonna kill all the bad guys. I fucking woke up, and like. Decky's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I need to fucking. Oh god, it's gone.
Yeah, that is hard when you're right in the middle of a good dream like that, and you wake up.
I was like about to start kicking some major ass, dude. I was ready. I was like, let's go. So then I'm like, okay. So then after that, I go downstairs and I was so excited about this dream. I was telling Bubs about it, right?
Yeah.
And Ellie, right?
Yeah.
And Bubs is like, I have dreams all the time. And I was like, okay, Bubs, tell me about your dreams. So the first dream he tells me about, right, is he got bit by a radioactive spider and then he became Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And then his friends got bit by spiders and they became Spider-Man, and they all teamed up, and they went downtown, and they fought the Green Goblin, and after they beat him up and saved the city, they went back to their hideout and made spider hammocks and laid in their hammocks with their like arms behind their heads. And I was like, okay. I was like, cool, man. But then I think he started kind of just making stuff up as well, because he was like, then I had a dream where a napkin came to life, and it jumped on my head. And I'm like, you're looking at the napkins right now, bro. He's like, okay. He's like, I had another dream, Dad. I was like, okay. He's like, I was playing a dream where I was playing Roblox and it glitched. And he goes, and then I went into the game and I was a cyborg and I had to kill some people that were trying to kill me. And I'm like, well, that sounds a lot like one of my dreams, except for the cyborg part, which I was impressed.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he's like, then he goes, I had the best nightmare. And I was like, what? And Ellie's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, yeah. He goes, I turned into Carnage and I fought bad guys and I won by beating Thanos. And I was like, and Ellie's like, that's not a nightmare. He goes, but there was like monsters in it. He goes, she goes, that was just a dream. And then he's like, today, he goes, I'm going to dream that I have a Coca-Cola gun and I'm going to fight Rambo. And I'm like, because I was wearing a Rambo shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, man. And then I look at Ellie. I'm like, you got any dreams? She's like, yeah. She says, I had a dream. She goes, I dreamed that my alarm was going off, and then I woke up and it was going off. And I was I'm like, cool. You know, like.
That's not a dream, Ellie. That's reality. That's just how life is.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, guys. But yeah, the whole dream thing, man, had me going the other week. I was like, oh, man, I want to know if Ben has dreams. Like, you ever remember any dreams?
I don't remember. Like I said, I usually don't remember. Like, I definitely do dream. I definitely, my thing is, like, I always, like, have those dreams where, like, I'm starting to now remember while we're thinking about it. The dreams I can remember are usually not good dreams. It's usually like something shitty happened, and like I'll be like, "Oh fuck!" You know, like I don't know, like I lost my whatever it is, and then but then I wake up and I'm like, "Oh god, it was just a dream." You know what I mean? Thank God. You know what I mean? Like I have those a lot where like shitty things are happening in the dream, and then I wake up and I'm like, "Oh god, thank God, it was." You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a reality. You know what I mean? So like. I have those types of situations, but I don't really have like funny dreams or like things where I remember like funny situations. Frankie does. My son does. He tells me all the time about his dreams, like just crazy, just nonsense. And it's usually the same thing as Bub's. Like it'll be like Roblox involved or Minecraft or something along those lines. You know what I mean? Yours sounds like you want to be the guy from Nobody.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
In the bus scene.
Yeah, whooping everyone's ass. And like the funny part is like it's not like I know when I get into fights and dreams, I'm getting punched too, right? It's not like I'm like dominating. But I am overwhelmingly victorious every time. But like I remember some dreams where like it was like a bad dream and like I wasn't very happy, but then I kind of realized that I was in a dream, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I remember this. This has happened a lot of times where I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this is a dream. That means I can control everything. And then it's like, turns into something ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah, I don't have those types of moments. I don't have thoughts of clarity in my dreams where I stop and I like, oh, wow. And now take over the dream. And now, I'm doing, none of that. Mine are usually, like I said, situations where I'm like, fuck, I just, crash the car or some shit. You know what I mean? Something stupid.
I know the whole Die Hard part of it though came from me watching Rick and Morty, like a night or two before, because in that it was all about Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where like the teenage girl is like, where the grandpa's like, yeah, I gotta save your brother. He's like, so go pull a Die Hard or something. She's like, what's a Die Hard? And she's like, I'm 17. or like 14 or whatever. And she's like, I don't know what Die Hard is. He was like, just climb some vents and some shit, kill all these bad guys. She's like, fine, whatever. So like, I was like, I want to climb some vents and kill some motherfuckers. Let's go.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Yeah, that scene, man, where he's in the fucking vents and fucking Carl is up there with the fucking gun and he's pressing up against the fucking vent. Oh my god! Then just can you imagine? I just can't even imagine how that must have felt.
Come to the beach, have a few laughs.
Come out to the coast.
Come out to the coast. Yeah, it's so good. I love that movie, dude. I can't wait for the holidays when I get to watch it again.
Bro, every Christmas, man. Every Christmas. At least 2 or 3 times. Speaking of videos, our buddy Kamani put out a really fucking awesome reel this week, dude.
Oh, the WhatsApp.
Yeah, we were both part of, and so good, man. It got so much good response. I think he's got to come up with something else that we can all collaborate on again soon, because, dude, that was so much fun. We watched, me and Debbie literally, because he sent it to us the night before he put it out, and me and Debbie sat here and watched it like 20 times, and we were just laughing so hard, man. It's just so funny. He did such a good job editing it, and we all did like a great job like performing it, I thought. It was so good, dude.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised who was all in there.
Yeah, he got a good lineup of people. I was really happy with it. That part at the end with Dave and fucking Eric with the intercom, dude. That shit was so funny, man. I was dying.
Yeah,
so good. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you can definitely go check that out on Kamani Van Stray Designs account.
Van Stray Designs.
Yeah. It was really funny.
Good shit. Another funny thing happened with the kids this week too, dude. I was cracking up. So we're eating dinner, right? And I love the conversations that Ellie and Bub like they don't generally talk to each other a lot during dinner, right? They talk to us, Jackie and me,
Yeah.
But sometimes they kind of get into it a little bit, and their conversations can be hilarious. And so Ellie, Bubs thinks it's funny when he tries to kiss his sister because she hates it, right? She's like, "Do not kiss me," right? So Ellie said to Bubs, says she doesn't like it when Bubs kisses her, but when he makes it fun and funny, sometimes, and into a game, sometimes she likes it, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I looked at Bubs. I'm like, you need to remember this. This is a very important life lesson for you. I'm like, she's basically telling you how women work. I'm like,
Yeah.
listen to her, Bubs. He's like, oh, like fucking idiot. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, dude. I was cracking up though. I was
She's
like,
giving
man,
you the keys to the kingdom, bro, and you're not paying attention.
I'm like, if you just make it fun and funny, bro, the world is yours.
Yeah, the world is your oyster, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of time with the kids lately, man. So it's been fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been same here. We've been spending a lot of time doing stuff, especially now with basketball and gymnastics, and it's been a lot of fun spending more and more time with them.
I like that the summer's over and it's like they're in school all day though. That's really nice.
No, that too. I was just thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, it's it's nice though to have these breaks, during the day to do stuff and actually get stuff done.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was. Oh yeah, there was one other thing I was going to tell you about. My shop is no longer my shop. It's our shop. So
what does that? Wait. What does that mean?
Jackie is now become involved in my shop, bro.
Like she's starting to work in there more.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you talked about her doing furniture flipping in the last episode or the.
Well,
two
she's not really
ago?
flipping it; she's just making it and using it in our house. But
okay.
But dude, like, she helped me clean up the shop, which was amazing. And then, like, she's been asking me how to use tools and shit. Mostly the surf prep sanders. But she's been in there a lot, man. And like, she was making suggestions. She's like, maybe we should do this in here, and maybe we should do that in here. And I was like, okay. And like, did I tell you that she was in the shop until like 9:00 one night the other week?
Yeah, you did. You told me that.
Did I tell it on the podcast? I forget.
No. You told me on.
Yeah, so like, she's like, it's like 7:30. She's like, hey, I'm just gonna go sand that thing real quick. And I was like, oh god. I was like, I already know how this is gonna go. And she's like, I'll be back in here like 8:15. I'm like, well, that's not realistic either. But okay, Go ahead.
Yeah.
So and she was out there until like 9:00, and the whole time I'm like staring out the window. I'm like, she's still in there. I'm like, and then the other day she left the garage lights on, the lights inside the shop, and I was like, I know I didn't leave the lights on in the shop, and you're always like, hey, you left the lights on out there, and I go turn them off. I'm like, you left them on this time. I'm like, so
that's awesome. Have you guys spent much time in there together working?
Yeah.
Or is it okay?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she's but her stuff is almost exclusively sanding or painting, and that was one thing that kind of bugged me was like she's very she wants to work on a project till it's done, right? She's a hard time putting it down, right?
Yeah.
So like she's like, okay, sanded it, now I want to paint it, and I'm like, well, I got to do some. I wanted to carve the T-tracks and stuff for my router table. And I was like, well, you can't be painting while I do this routing. And she was like, well, and she like looked at me. She's like, well, can you wait? I was like, it's because I know you can't wait. I'm like, okay, fine. So I had to push that off, which kind of
man. Welcome to the world of sharing your shop, man. I've had this same exact situation with Debbie so many times, man. Because it's the same thing. Obviously, when it's time to paint, you can't be making dust, and vice versa. So it's like there's been plenty of nights where I'm having to like just put my stuff aside while she spends her time painting, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So, how does that feel for you to be sharing your safe place?
I mean, the first thing is
she doesn't listen to this. She doesn't listen to this, so you talk freely.
Oh, of course. I mean, look, look. Even if she did listen to this and was like, hey, I heard you talking some shit about this. I mean, like, is I wrong? Because I'm an honest guy. I speak the truth. That's why people should listen to me. Might not like what I'm saying, but it's true. So, and I'm backed up by garage science. But yeah, so like I didn't like having to stop what I was doing. That kind of stunk. But I do love hanging out with her. So it was kind of and look. I've always dreamt that I would have a shared interest with her. Like our interests don't really overlap. Not even with the kids. Like I'm one of us is way more into the kids than the other. I'm just not going to say who that is. I'm not saying she doesn't love the kids.
I know.
Yeah, but yeah. So like, part of it I liked a lot, and then part of it I didn't. So it was like when she started painting the thing, I was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'll just help her paint it.
Yeah.
So I painted like all the cracks and like the inside part that would suck, so that way she could just roll her over everything and finish it off. So which I think I work good in teams. Like I can anticipate what the other person is trying to accomplish and what they might need. So I think I'm pretty good at that. So, and we naturally, Jackie and I are a great team. I would put us up again in terms of couple teams. Like I think that her and I could beat almost any couple in anything that's not an athletic thing.
Non-athletic.
Yeah, like if it's like, hey, we're gonna rock climb this fucking thing first, and it's like two fucking super fit like a couple, like, well, have fun. I'm gonna be getting a smoothie. But like if it's like, like, hey, like this couple has to make something or do something or like has a challenge or whatever, I think Jack and I could take any couple. So
we might have to set up some challenges while you're out here. Some maybe an egg toss.
Look, if you want to be disappointed, go for it. I mean, I'm all up to bringing you down a notch. I hate to have to do that to Debbie, but that's what happens.
I'd like to go back to the part where you said you're good at anticipating what your people you're working with need.
Oh God,
I'm just kidding. This fuck.
I want to give you 5 examples of how that's not true.
I'm just teasing. No, this is awesome. Were you thinking about like before you started this whole like woodworking thing? Like, has she ever shown interest whatsoever? Like, were you ever thinking like maybe this could be something that we do together, or is this just now a new thing?
No, and like she, and she's learning a lot, right? So like,
yeah.
So she got this free dining room table, and it had some water damage to it. And I was looking, and I'm like, well, yeah, I'm like, this is a nice table and all. I'm like, but honestly, I was like, I don't know. You know how it is. Like, you buy something, you get something off Craigslist for free. Yeah. It's like you don't know what it's going to be until you start sanding it and messing around with it, Yeah. And like, so she was sanding it, and this had some water damage where like it is one of those ones with the leaf in the middle,
Uh-huh.
And so I would say that one side of it was up about 1/8 of an inch almost, or 1/16 of an inch than the other. And I was like, so we're going to have to sand that down to make it flat. And like she started sanding it. And we realized it was veneer.
Oh, yeah.
And so we busted a veneer in a couple spots. And I looked at her, I'm like, well, we could just sand it flat and paint it. Like that's really our only option at this point. I'm like, any kind of wood finish is going to be worthless on this. I'm not gonna waste my bumble shoots on this piece of shit. So yeah. So but it's exciting. Like I never thought like that's what's up. And like this weekend, she wants to go to some like art in a barn thing or something. I don't know what it is. I never heard of it before, but it's like I think she wants to go to these things to get like inspiration and ideas.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna like be building a table anytime soon, but
you never know.
Sander, though, it was cracking me up though. She did text message me and she was like, "Hey, the sander doesn't seem to be sucking in the dust like it normally does. There's all this sawdust everywhere." And like I ran outside, I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" And like she just had like I have that mullet dust separator,
Yeah.
So she was just using the mullet, and I was like, the regular vacuum wasn't there, and I was like, so this is what this machine actually does. I'm like, it just separates it. I'm like, there's no motors or anything in there. I'm like, this is the vacuum. She was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like,
it wasn't. There's nothing sucking. The vacuum isn't working. That's so funny, man. Has she made any suggestions to you about like how you could organize your shop better or what could be done better in there yet? Have you reached that point yet?
We've had general conversations about it, but nothing terribly specific. But a lot of how I organize my shop is based off of the methodology of how she organized the kitchen, right? So like,
So no toasters.
no toasters. Uh, but no, like it's like, hey, like put your coffee shit in the cabinet next to the coffee maker.
Yeah.
Put the stuff next, like you know, it seems it's just obvious stuff. It might sound stupid when you even say it, but it's just like, hey, if this is where you do your cutting, put your knives there, and if this is where
it makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like, so my shop, that's how it is organized. But I know it's horrible, and I ask her opinions about that stuff because she has good opinions about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think this, I think that, like this would make sense here, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I know the way I'm doing it's wrong, so
I'm excited for you, man. I'm glad that you guys are getting to spend more time together, and because it just makes it easier. Not that you have an issue with like, oh, I want to go out in the shop and she's not, she's giving you crap about it or anything, but it's just one more thing to, make it easier being on the same page kind of thing,
Yeah,
nice.
I think like understanding how long things take, right?
Yes.
Is going to be a good thing from it. But
yeah,
like our kids are completely on their own when we're doing this, though. So
well, yeah, that's how
they're raising themselves. So
yeah, we have the same thing. When me and Debbie are out here working, our kids are in the house doing whatever the hell they're doing, but they're, that's good for them to have that.
They're like, "Can I watch TV?" I'm like, "Please, go ahead."
Yeah, leave me alone.
That's your parent.
Just leave me alone.
So, yeah, man.
That's awesome.
It's been, things are going good. I'm starting. I've been taking naps lately in the morning, which I think has fired up my creativity a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm a nap guy, but
Which and are you choosing to sleep in Ellie's bed? Because I know that's like your favorite place to sleep, your favorite nap spot.
It is my favorite nap spot, but no, I have since I'm still testing positive for COVID.
Oh, duh, yeah.
I have not been napping in her space. Though once I test negative, I will resume full blown napping activities.
I just thought that was hilarious. Like you told me, this is like I don't even know, like 8-9 months ago. When we're talking one day, like I called you and you're like I'm napping, and I was like, there's stuffed animals like all around you. You're all, yeah, I'm napping in my daughter's bed. I was like, what? You're like, yeah, it's like the most comfortable bed to sleep in. It's just so funny. I love
it really is. Her bed's awesome. And like, and the funny thing is I love telling her I napped in her bed too, right? So it's like, I'm like, how's your day? She was like, it was good. I had a great day. Typical kid stuff. And then she asked me how day. I was like, I had this wonderful nap in your bed. And she's like, Dad.
That's so funny, man. That's too funny.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this whole thing up and get out of here, let's talk about what we need to be promoting hard for this next
Those dad
month.
Jokes, right?
Yeah.
Don't we owe that dude a dad joke?
I think we do owe him a dad joke.
Yeah, I'm gonna look one up while you fill the people.
You find one. All right, guys. October 23rd is our West Coast Maker Meetup that we're really excited to be hosting. It's sponsored by Surf Prep Sanding, and it's going to be hosted at the Surf Prep location in Lake Elsinore, California. It's going to be a daytime lunch meetup from like 12 to 2:30. Everybody's invited. Anybody who wants to come can come. Just make sure you bring a little donation item, because they're going to be doing a donation for a charity. So anybody who wants to come, they just ask that you bring a custom handmade item to donate. It doesn't have to be big, obviously, just something small. But yeah, it's going to be a great great maker meetup. A lot of people are already saying they're going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited to be hosting it, and we really want to thank Hannah and her parents for sponsoring it. And there's going to be food. There's going to be entertainment. We're going to be there hanging out for a couple hours, just having a good time. So October 23rd, in Lake Elsinore, California, the first annual West Coast Maker Meetup. It's going to be awesome. Super excited.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. After this Maker Meetup, man, I was like, even more people I'm excited to meet. Between that and Maker's Camp, it's going to be a good month.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? I got a dad joke for you.
Dad joke me up.
All right. How many DIY buffs does it take to change a light bulb? 1, but it takes 2 weeks and 4 trips to the hardware store.
That's a good one. So true, though.
Yeah. Look, it could be fun. I could slip a dad joke in every week towards the end.
Yeah, we'll try and do that for you.
I'm telling you, man, though, look at my hair, man. See how crazy my hair is right now?
Yeah.
So, dude, I had to reschedule a haircut, and my barber is so busy, right, that he was like, okay, I can reschedule it. And it was like 2 weeks. And I was like, God damn it. So I had to wait 2 weeks, and then I got fucking COVID. So now, dude, this is I'm a super hairy dude right now. Every time I take my hat off, it like fluffs out, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Haircut.
You get your beard and your hair are going to be all the one length pretty soon. That would be pretty fun.
I'm gonna look like a freaking Q-tip with a face.
You're like cousin it,
like a dirty Q-tip.
That's gross.
All right, can we do the Patreons or do a
shout out? Shout out.
Yeah.
That was kind of my shout out this week. The West Coast Maker Meetup, and Hannah and her parents. So I'm kind of cheesing out on my shout out this week, but that's who I'm shouting out.
Nice.
Make sure you be there. Who you shout out?
I'm gonna shout out to Bart Komar.
Oh, nice.
I met a lot of dudes that I was super excited to meet. Again, I met Grant from Dad Crafted. I was super excited to meet him, but I knew I was going to meet him, But Bart, I did not know he was coming. And he was genuinely excited to see me, and I was excited to see him. And he couldn't have been nicer, man. I really loved meeting him. And he's a guy I know I could hang out with and get into some real stupid shit. So
yeah. He's great.
He's not going to be my voice of reason, which is nice.
Yeah, we had him on in the shop last year at some point and interviewed him, and yeah, he was great. He was just a great dude to hang out with. And
check him out. He's the Komar Project. So
great name.
Yeah, and it's funny, man. I was talking to him. I was like, "Do you know how to sharpen an axe?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Wait, you don't know everything?" He's like, "I can sharpen a hand plane like nobody's business, but axe, no."
Yeah, he's got a ton of hand planes, man. He's got a huge collection of hand planes.
Oh, I can't wait because I'm going to visit him. And when I do, I'm going to ask him to teach me how to use a hand plane. So
when you how far away did you get an idea of how far away all these people are from you?
But Patsy's the farthest. Well, I mean, Patsy and Grant are the farthest, at least as far as I could tell, because Patsy lives way up north and Grant lives in Iowa. So
she lives way up north in Illinois. Is that where?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Crystal Lake or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was really cool to meet her too. I think I said that already. But yeah, but Bart lives out west, so it'd be 45 minutes to get to his house, which is it's fine.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
it
was great, man. I love these meetups, man. And it's just the thing about it is there's no other situation that I've been in where I hung out with so many people and we all have the same interest, and we're all excited to meet each other.
Yeah, totally. That must have been so much fun. I've only done 0 maker meetups so far, so I'm really excited to do.
As it was with podcast, Ben, I will pop your maker meetup cherry too. I popped your ramen cherry. I popped your maker meet. I'm gonna pop your maker meetup cherry. I popped your podcast cherry. Yeah, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, cherry pop.
You'll be meeting up people all the time. So
yeah, it'd be great. All right, let's do Patreons.
Yeah, Patreons. All right, thank you, Patreons. You guys are mostly good people. All right, Kyle Foote. Thank you, Kyle, from the Woodworks. Matthew Gerard from the Wooden Moustache, living his best life. Lee Oman from Regal Street.
Oh man.
Big Mike Holmes from Broken Lad Woodworks. Broken Lead Woodworks. Dave from Rustic Joy, Mr. One Grit himself, my mom, Elise Gelman, Dave the Thriller Miller, who's got a beard like a canopy on an RV. Just keep everybody dry. Billy Estes, Simplewood Woodco, Corey Stanley from the Odyssey CNC or Odyssey _Stan.
It's actually Odyssey _CNC now. He changed it.
Oh, he did?
I just found that out.
That's what I was like. Oh, he did change it. Odyssey _CNC. Okay. Thank you, Corey. I was listening to his podcast today. The unofficial lube of the podcast, Eric from Bubble Shoots.
Yeah.
Alan from ACC _creates. Got that. Look that up.
Yeah.
The Collywood Canoe Company. No canoe will ever be built. That's what it says on his name, by the way. Like, I like that guy's on the list. He, like, I don't know, man. I appreciate him supporting. I'd like to get to know the guy. All I know is he's from Canada because he pays the extra fee, the Canadian fee, fee for being Canadian. Grant from Dad Crafted, Ryder from Ryder's Custom Creations, Jason from JM Sullivan Woodworks, good guy. He has not bugged me in the last couple weeks. I don't know if he's okay or not.
He's okay. I just talked to him yesterday.
you're like just couch your blessing. He's not bugging you.
No.
And then Kamani from Van Strayhorn Designs or Van Stray Designs. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, man. So that's it. Thank you, Patreons. You guys are wonderful people. I honestly love our Instagram Patreon group. I mean, like, dude, it's just like it's just supportive and funny, and there's nothing real serious in there, and like everyone's just talking about food and stupid shit. It's a good time.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's one of my favorite threads. And thank you guys so much for supporting us like you do every month. We really appreciate it. If you want to be a Patreon supporter of this podcast, at the bottom of every episode, there's a link. Feel free to click that link and go sign up and start supporting this podcast. We really appreciate you. Also, guys, feel free to share it on Fridays when it comes out. Share it amongst all your friends and family. We really appreciate that. We're trying to keep growing this thing. Also, that's it, actually. I think that's it. Oh, no reviews this week. I checked. No reviews. So if you want to leave a review, we'll read it on the podcast. So, yeah. But other than that, I think we're good to go, man. Thanks for being here, guys.
There was a text message, but it was basically my mom talking shit about you. I'm like, Mom.
Oh.
Ben doesn't check this. I'm like,
no, she sent me a really nice message this week about my beard. She said it looks great. She said it's a good length. It's very.
She's like, I still can't believe he put the milk in his coffee. I'm like, chill, Ma.
Oh man!
All right, let's. Oh man, I screamed into the microphone. All right, let's take it away, Tim. Balls.
This has been a ConMan Creative production. Text us anytime at 908-768-2664 or send us a message on our Instagram, thejointery podcast. You can find Ben at Conderosa Creations or Luke at Luke in the Garage, everywhere that social media is sold. That's garage, not garage. Say it properly.